Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, back with me Rahmi. So today we will learn about one type of the text in English is recount text. So what you will learn today is what is the recount text is, the types of the recount text and the structure. So let's get started. So what is a recount text? A recount text is the type of a text that retells events or experiences that happened in the past, usually in a chronological order. The purpose of this recount text, first informing, is giving information about what happened, entertaining, sharing a personal or funny experiences, or recording, keeping a memory or memory historical event alive. So let's move on to the language features. First is the past tense verb. For example is went, saw, was, etc. The function is to describe the past action. Next is time connectors. For example, first, after that, finally, etc. The function shows sequence of the text. Next is the specific participant. For example, I, my family, Habibi, etc. The function is for identify who you will tell in the text. Next is action verbs. For example, walked, cooked, helped. The function is to add the activity. Okay, the last is adjective. For example, excited, proud, or tired, etc. Is function to show the emotion. Next, we are move on to the structure. The first part of the structure is orientation. This is the introduction of the story. It tells who was involved, where the event took, and when it happened. It gives a background information to help the readers understand the situation. The second part is series of events. This is the body or mind part of the recount text. It describes what happened. Step by step, in chronological order, each sentence or paragraph move to the story forward in time. And finally, the reorientation. This is the last part of the structure of the recount text. This is the closing part of the text, where the writer gives a personal comment, reflection, or a conclusion. For example, how they felt or what they learned. Now, let's move on to the type of recount text. First is personal recount text. It's a text that tells about the writer's own experience. Is the something that actually happened to the writer. So the structure of this personal recount is orientation introduce you as a writer, as the main participant, and explain where and when it happened. The series of events tells you what you did, how it happened, and what you felt during the experience, all in time order. And the reorientation gives you a reflection or closing thought, such as it was a great day or I learned something new. So the focus on the personal recount is on your personal action and feelings. Next, second is factual recount. The factual recount is a text that tells a report real events or information such as a news report, an accident report, or scientific record. The orientation for the structure, first the orientation provides the factual background, who was involved, when and where it occurred. The series of events is explained what happened in the time order, but in an objective way. Then, the last is the reorientation, give a short conclusion or summary of the outcome. In other words, a factual recount is not about emotion, it's about accuracy. It records real events clearly and logically. Third is biographical recount. Biographical recount is a text that tells about someone's life story. For example, a hero or public figure or historical figure. The structure is for the orientation is introduce the person with their name, birthplace, and early life. The series of events describe their achievement, education, and major events in their career or personal life, all in chronological order. And the reorientation explain how this person is remembered or what impact they made. So, in this type, the structure helps the writer tells a person's journey from the beginning to the end in organized way. The fourth is imaginative recount. Imaginative recounts is a text that combines a real or imagined event with a creative storytelling. For the structure, The orientation set the scene in an imaginative way. For example, you might start as a historical figure or a student in another time or place. The series of events is describe what you experience as a character step by step, still in the past tense. The last is the reorientation. The ends of the story with a reflection or emotion, just like a personal recount, but more creative. So, even though imaginative recounts can include fictional elements, they still follow the same structure: orientation, events, and reorientation. Okay, now we are move on to the example of the recount text. This is the biographical recount text example. The title is The Inspiring Life of B.J. Habibie. So let's look at the first text is Bacharuddin Joseph Habibie, better known as B.J. Habibie, was born in Parepare, South Sulawesi on June 25, 1936. So, as we can see, this is the orientation part. Because they are answered the question who is Bacharuddin Habibie and when B.J. Habibie born and where B.J. Habibie born. And look at the black highlight is included the action verb with a past tense, and the green highlight is using a time connectors that mean using a key features of the recount text. Okay, the next paragraph or the next sentence is after finishing high school in Bandung and until the after President Suharto resignation in 1998 is about a series of even part of the structure because it tells the sequence that happened in B.J. Habibie life. Now we are move on to the last part is reorientation. Reorientation, B.J. Habibie passed away in 2019 with his contribution to Indonesian technology and democracy remain unforgettable. So this is give a close section with a reflection about B.J. Habibie legacy in technology and democracy. So that's all what we have already learned. Thank you for listening. Now you can tell anyone about the recon text that you like to write next. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.